Welcome everybody to our beautiful deep stretch, and it will be a deep stretch class this evening. We're not going to be in a rush. We're going to luxuriate, give time and space to the spine. We're going to nurture this floor energy this evening. So come to a comfortable seat. We'll just tune in, and then we're going to very quickly come to a beautifully supported bridge pose and start on the floor. And to be fair, we're probably going to end up on the floor as well. So lovely, but we'll feel the benefits. Those of you who've been with me earlier in the week for sort of strength-based yoga practice, this will be a real antidote to that. So you're going to really enjoy it, I hope. Feedback is always welcome. So come to a comfortable seat, whether you're sitting on the floor or on your sofa or your bed. It's fine, wherever you are. In fact, most of this can even be practiced on a bed. So just to let you know, if you are in a bedroom, it's not unheard of that this one could be practiced on a bed. So if you want to take that option and quickly adjust, not too quickly, then get yourself in position, okay? Otherwise, coming to a comfortable seat with the shins crossed or however is comfortable. Remember, we want that comfortable and steady seat to begin with. So shuffle through those sit bones, get grounded, allow those knees to drop open. And just shrug those shoulders up to the ears and away, lifting the heart. Broaden those collarbones into a smile, even if you bring those fingertips there and brush them open towards the side. Really light in the upper body and really stable in the lower half, okay? And then head is nicely balanced on the spine. Palms up to receive or down to relax, or whatever feels comfortable for you. And then soften the gaze, your drishti, or close the eyes completely, and then bring the attention and the awareness into the breath. Okay, so dropping into the body, arriving on our mat this evening for a beautiful stretchy practice. Then as we drop into the body, as we bring awareness and attention to the breath, setting an intention for our practice this evening, our yin yoga, so our feminine energetic practice this evening. And then just allowing yourself to consider for a moment that our goal is not to become perfect. Our goal is to become whole. So I want you to feel whole this evening on your mat. Really comfortable, meeting yourself where you are. 3 rules, or 4 if you count how we come out of postures. 3 rules for yin yoga. 1 is that we come into our mild edge and we don't push it to 100%, okay? Then we find stillness in the posture, so we adjust until we're fully comfortable, and then we find our stillness, another opportunity to meet ourselves where we are, and then we hold. Okay, so we need to find our mild edge where we can be comfortably uncomfortable for a length of time, and then we hold in that position. And then as mindfully as we come into a posture, that's the extra rule, is as mindfully as we need to exit and leave the posture. If at any point things start to feel tingly or numb, then come out of the pose, rest down, whether we're in child's pose, shavasana, whatever takes your fancy. Just come into a rest pose if anything starts to feel tingly or unpleasant. We don't want any unpleasantness. And certainly, if there's any sensations in the knees, make sure that you back out, because there should be no sensation in the knees. Okay, the knees should just feel like nothing. Okay, so our goal is not to be perfect. Our goal is to be whole. Okay, become whole. Okay. So let's just lengthen the breath. We'll take 3 long deep inhales and exhales and rise the fingertips up as well. So we'll start to lengthen those breaths. Breathing deep into the diaphragm, into the belly, into the pelvis. Okay, nicely filling up. Take an inhale, reach those palms high. And then gently float those fingertips down as if trailing the fingertips lightly through water. Exhale. And again, reaching up. Inhale deeply. Feel that belly expand, rib cage expand, and then exhale, trail those fingers out towards the side just softly. We're gently raising the heart rate a little here, just enough. Last time, inhale, and then exhale, trail those fingers out as if trailing through water. Okay, so our first posture this evening is going to be supported bridge. So this one you might want to smoosh together with a sort of variation of Viparita Karani. So if you want to put your feet up on a higher ledge or surface to come into this pose, you can. Essentially, in this posture, we want the middle to low back to be supported, and we're going to have the upper back and the shoulders to dangle a little bit, and we're going to counter that rounding sensation that we have in the shoulders from hunching over desks, office work, knitting, sewing, baking, whatever it is, okay? So we're going to counter that rounding of the shoulders here in this pose. So reaching for cushions. If you have a bolster, then that's an option. So we want to bring ourselves, and if you want to bring the feet enough, close enough to a higher surface, you can. So we're supporting the upper to low back in our supported bridge, and the upper body is going to dangle on the floor. You can place a blanket or cushion behind the head if you'd like to, but a bit like Shavasana, we're going to walk those fingertips out towards the side. So get yourself propped up, maybe get alternating pillows to make it nice and even. Bring your body onto the edge of that, sinking back over your cushions or pillows, and then shuffling back gently until the shoulders open and the feet can rest on a higher surface if you'd like to. Otherwise the feet can rest on the floor if you have the space there. Otherwise shuffle a little bit further up your mat. Okay, I'm going to rest my feet on the raised surface here. We're going to walk the palms of the hands out towards the side of the room. Now this one is a gentle heart opener. Again, we're countering poor posture in the shoulders here. So the shoulders want to dangle towards the floor, and gravity is our friend here. It's not always our friend, but it is today. Okay, so gravity is our friend. Have the chin slightly tucked into the chest and get some length and space for the back of the neck. And we're just going to enjoy this gentle opening of the upper body, this lengthening of the shoulders towards the floor, and just keep that chin tilted comfortably, and either the feet are resting on the floor or slightly raised up. Okay, so this is one way of gently inverting as well, so that we reverse that blood flow a little. It helps to detox, it helps to boost circulation to our vital organs. It also helps to reduce fatigue, anxiety, and it's a really good one to practice if you're feeling particularly anxious just before you go to sleep. So it's a really nice one. So this one, you'll come to your mild edge, so we're not going into our full range of motion, so we're not mounting ourselves up on a massive pile of cushions and overstretching the back. It's a gentle lift for the spine, a gentle heart opener. Allow those fingertips to flop open towards the side, palms face up, drop those shoulders down, opening across the chest. Maybe soften the eyes or close the eyes, and just allow the legs to feel heavy, the mid to lower body to feel heavy, and the upper body to just relax and sink towards the floor. And then with the eyes closed, I'd like you to bring your attention and your awareness to your breath. Breathing deeply, that diaphragmatic breathing into the belly, into the pelvis, almost into the bottom if you can. And if that seems like a somewhat alien concept, just imagine the breath travelling into that pelvic bowl, nourishing and oxygenating those internal organs, allowing the body to rest and digest. Long, smooth inhales and exhales the same length. And just allow this cooling feminine energy to drop into the body like a cooling mist, releasing knots and tensions in the body. Every last molecule of stress just dissolving into the floor beneath you. Keep the fingers soft. And we're going to lie here for about 2 to 3 more minutes, so really time to luxuriate and get comfortable in this pose and just enjoy this supportive, restorative Setu Bandha Sarvangasana or supported bridge pose. Focusing on the breath. I will go silent during this session. I will try not to talk the whole way through, just to allow you to turn the energy in. But I will just occasionally drop the odd comment in so that you know that I am still very much here with you in the room. Natural wave of the breath in and out to the belly, soothing and cooling the energy.
Just noticing that lightness in the feet, that softness in the toes. And allow those bones of the legs, the femur bones, to drop in towards the floor. Relax the muscles. So in our Yin Yoga practice, we are trying to access those deeper connective tissues, those supportive fascia, or like a veil of tissue that supports the joints. So by using gravity, we aim to put a steady load on the body without recruiting any muscles, so that we can lengthen and extend and increase the elasticity of those connective tissues that will in turn lengthen and support those muscles and joints, in leading to greater mobility, movement, and just a sensation of almost being sort of surfing in the Caribbean in board shorts. Just much more mobility in the skin, in the body. Keep that breath long and deep and smooth, breathing the way you want to live. Keep softening those shoulders, releasing the shoulders into the floor. And just notice that gentle, energetic, subtle lift with the heart opener, with this chest opening posture. Moving some spinal energy upwards. Relax the back. And then final minute here. You should already be feeling quite soothed, more relaxed, calmer, less anxious. Maybe you can feel the muscles of the face relaxing. And perhaps the skin is already beginning to feel a little more dewy as a result of this nourishing breath and this meditative space that we've created. Allowing those cells to rejuvenate, detoxify, restore, replenish, all of those lovely things. Final 30 seconds, and maybe you can practice breathing in for 4, holding for 1, breathing out for 4 and holding the breath out for 1. And if you do that 3 times, that will take you to your 3 rounds of breath into your 30 seconds. It's a good way of measuring time with the breath. And then you can just discard this sense of time in favor of the breath. Good. And then as we're ready, we're going to slowly, if the feet are raised, we're going to bring those feet back down to the floor. And we are going to gently roll onto our right hand side and pause briefly and come to sitting, but then we are going to come back down. This is going to be an opportunity for us to use our strap if you'd like to, and I'll give you some really clear instructions on how to use that if you'd like to use your strap in this position. So just gently rolling onto your right hand side, so rolling off those cushions. We are going to bring the stretch into a different portion of the body now. We're going to come into Supta Bandha Konasana, or reclining bound angle pose. And the idea here is that actually what we're going to do effectively is shift those cushions higher up the body, allow the lower back to dangle, and we're going to open up the hips with the knees out towards the side. So this is where, if you've got a strap, it's quite a good opportunity to use it actually. So I'll just show you how you can use it. You'll need to loop it, okay, so that you can have access to the tail end and you can lengthen and shorten your strap according to where in the body it's going to feel comfortable, okay. So
So shifting your cushions, or if you have bolsters, then use those instead of the cushions or pillows, okay? Now if you are in favour of a deep lower back stretch, you can add an extra layer of cushions to give yourself some extra height. But be careful again, what we want is our mild edge. We don't want to overstretch any part of the body. We want this to be a comfortably opening practice. So with your strap, if you've managed to loop it, if you've got one, it doesn't matter if you don't need it. It's just an option. And I would also recommend that if you have some bricks or a couple of extra cushions, I know, a bit greedy, aren't we, with all these cushions and pillows, you can reach for those and you can pop those underneath the knees, and I'll show you how that works in just a moment. So in terms of this looped strap, all you need to do is bring the strap over your body, so over the shoulders, around the waist, so that you've still got access to this tail end, this buckle, okay? Bring it round to the side of your body so that it's not going to press into your bony parts of your ankles that we're going to need. And then we're going to bring the soles of the feet together. So I'll just come this way. So soles of the feet together, okay, with the belt just around your waist. And then just bring the feet over that strap. And then just draw that strap tighter. So we're going to draw those heels in towards the body, okay? So I'll just practice to show you that one again. So the strap goes down around the waist as if we're going to just put a belt on. Then it comes over the toes. We draw the heels into the body, over the toes. It can wrap around the sides of the feet. Okay, it doesn't have to come all the way underneath the ankles or the heels, just around the sides of the feet. So the weight of the feet alone will hold it in place. And then using your tail end of your strap and your bottom on the floor, okay, shift it forward slightly. This is where you can use your cushions either side of the knees for some additional support. We're going to lie back and draw that strap up the body, so tighten the strap. Make sure it's not sort of twisted, so it's not cutting into the sides of the body. Make sure it's comfortable. So this is where you find your mild edge. And then, so you're propping the upper part of the body up on cushions or pillows. The lower body rests on the floor, and we're drawing those hips open towards the side, supporting the knees. And again, you can, stack up the knees a little bit higher by rolling over the edge of that cushion for some additional support. This is absolutely gorgeous, this one, for opening up the hips and for just gently stretching out the lower back. So sitting nice and comfortably with the bottom on the floor, upper body supported beautifully all the way up the length of the spine. The spine is nice and straight but not stiff. Draw those heels in towards the body until you start to feel a stretch in the hips and maybe in the sides of the thighs. And when you've got it, just allow those knees to fall open towards the side. Again, palms can come out towards the side of the room. Draw those shoulders down away from the ears. Lift and open that heart. Chin is gently tucked in towards the chest so that you've got length in the back of the neck. And we're just going to sit here and gently open up those hips. Now what you might find in this position is if you've already got quite open hips, that you don't need the cushions to begin with, okay? So you can remove the cushions, or it might be that as we practice this posture, this asana, another word for posture, a Sanskrit word for posture, pose, that actually over the course of this stretch you can remove the cushions and the knees can drop a little further towards the floor. So bound angle pose, and you can almost say bound ankle pose here because we're binding the ankles ever so slightly and drawing those heels in. But what again I just want you to focus on is bringing that breath into the lower belly, into the pelvis, soften those knees out towards the side, have the body supported. It's absolutely gorgeous. Drop those shoulders away from the ears, soften through those hands. Allow those fingertips to soften in towards the palms if that feels comfortable. And then just settle in here. We're going to practice about another 4 minutes. We've already done about a minute. So coming into this stretch and then remembering when you've found that mild edge, maybe the hips start to open over time and you can just allow those cushions to sort of fall away from the body, or you can remove them and allow those knees to drop a little bit more heavily towards the floor. If you have got particularly open hips, it's quite sometimes you can benefit by putting some weight on top of the knees. So if you do have a bolster like my purple one up there, you can pop that across the knees and that will press. You can put one on one leg, one on the other, although bolsters are quite expensive. So maybe just putting heavy cushions on either side of the thigh and just gently opening up those thighs a little bit more deeply towards the side of the room. So those are extra options for you. But otherwise, just settling in, finding your stillness. This is quite a nice, easy hold. And so just enjoy that sensation of stillness in the body. Again, allow the weight of gravity to just ease the hips open. Allow those knees to drop towards the floor. And keep the tailbone gently tucking towards the front of the mat so that you're not sort of sitting on, you know, the curled up lip of your bottom cheek, okay? So try and just have that tailbone tucking under a little so you're getting that additional stretch in the low back. And then relax on in, soften down or close the eyes. And then remember, if there is any tingling or unpleasant sensations while you're in this position, of course, either loosen your strap and walk the heels further away, or come out completely and just stretch the legs. You can always then draw the heels back in and join us back in our Supta Baddha Konasana pose. And holding here, just enjoying, feeling fully supported, enjoying the hips not having to hold on. Breathing into those hips, into the pelvis, soft shoulders. Breath, long, steady, smooth and deep. Savouring the breath. Savouring this present moment, this beautifully comfortable sensation in the body, this sense of security and support and groundedness that comes from a floor-based practice. Immersing yourself in this nurturing practice. And if the belly starts to gurgle, well, it's doing its thing. The body's starting to digest, to do its thing. So just noticing any gurgling sensations, but without judgment. If anything, just give yourself a gentle smile in the knowledge that the body is highly intelligent, highly engineered for living, and that you can trust your body fully to support you, to bring you and yield what you need. And when we come out of this posture in about 2 minutes time, you will need to come out of this pose really gently. You'll need to support those knees with the palms of the hands. We're not there yet, but just be ready. Being present in the body, softening to the bone. Coming up for our final minute. I know you could probably stay here all night. Lengthen and deepen that breath, so try that 4-1-4-1 formation if you like. 3 rounds. In and out through the nose if that's available. And maybe you can start to draw up on the pelvic floor as you hold that breath out for that 1 count. So toning the body from the inside. And last breath in. And out. Draw that pelvic floor up and in. And then return to a nice natural breath as we scoop those thighs with the palms of the hands and draw those knees up. Maybe bring the heels in towards the body and start to loosen your strap. Not too much because we're going to use it towards the end of our practice. And from here, we're just going to lengthen through the feet. Maybe if you're still close to that raised surface, you can lengthen the feet that way. And just feel that sort of magic happening in the hips and the thighs here. It's like a sort of almost like a circular radiating feeling from the hips going into the thighs and maybe up into the sides of the belly as well, around the navel, okay? Maybe you feel it, maybe you don't.
We're just observing any and all sensations just for an extra breath here. And then we are going to gently bring those knees in. We're going to roll onto the right hand side, and from this delicious low back stretch, hip stretch, we're going to come into a beautiful hamstring stretch. Okay, so we're going to come into straddle now. We don't need the strap for now, but have it nearby for later on. And here is where you might want to recruit your blanket ready for your pelvis. So straddle is our wide-legged forward fold, with a slight difference in that we're not going to activate the toes, we're not going to firm the thighs, we're going to soften into it. So have your folded up blanket about sort of 2 to 3 inches is a good sort of thickness. So roll sort of folded 2 or 3 times. Sit on the edge of your blanket so that the bottom's got a nice soft resting position with the pelvis tilted slightly forwards. We're going to bring your heap of cushions towards the front of the room, okay, and just open the legs out towards the side. Now, remembering that we're not in any shape or form coming into the side splits here, we don't need to overdo it at all. So really thinking about sort of 20% of your full range of motion. So if the feet can do this, don't do this, bring them in softly, okay? So I'm going to turn sideways for this one. So nice pelvic tilt forwards, a stack of cushions in front of you. And if you practice with a brick, you can always bring a brick to your forehead, sort of stacked up on its side, and just rest your forehead on that brick, or you can, extra cushions is always an option. So sitting on the edge of that blanket, coming comfortable, open those legs just wide enough either side of those cushions, bring them in towards the belly as far as feels comfortable, and you might feel actually that resting the chest is the way to go, okay? And that gives space for the belly still. Otherwise it might be that you like to bring the cushions all the way into the belly, and maybe even sort of make a sort of arrow shape into the belly, so you're supporting the upper body in a sort of diagonal line towards the sky. So you'll find whatever feels comfortable for you. Remember, this is your practice. It's a yoga practice, not a yoga perfect. I want you to feel whole, not perfect, okay? And then when you're ready, so rather than drawing those toes back, we're just going to soften those toes away and then bring that weight forwards, and then just either rest the forearms wherever feels comfortable. It might be that actually you sort of bring those arms underneath the cushions and rest the head forwards there. Come onto the chin, whatever feels comfortable, okay? But as soon as you feel that mild stretch for the hamstrings, then stay there, okay? And then start to find that stillness in the forward fold, all right? So again, quite another sort of introverting posture to bring those anxiety levels down, just giving us the opportunity to withdraw a little and just become a little bit reflective, contemplative, meditative, creating space to just be, really. So rather than being a human doing, we can be that human being, okay? So just being in the body, present in this moment, this inevitable moment, and just enjoying the stretch, nothing more, nothing less, and just taking care with that low back, that if at any point the low back feels a bit overburdened, maybe come to a more upright position, keep those shoulders nice and soft, and then you can always come back into the posture. It might be the case that actually a mountain of cushions is not what you need, and you might be able to just rest on one with the forearms, with the palms facing up, and just allow that chin to tilt in towards the chest. For a deeper stretch, there's no rule of thumb as such, only that you feel the stretch and that you feel comfortable in the posture. So finding wherever you are and come into rest for about sort of 3 more minutes here. 2 or 3 minutes, just enjoy that stretch. Allowing that neck to be comfortable, so adjusting your position until the neck feels comfortable, till the shoulders are resting down. Keep those toes soft. And allow those femur bones, again, those thigh bones to feel heavy. And it might be that you roll them slightly out, or that they roll slightly in, just going with it, whatever feels right in the body. Just becoming a really good listener. And then bringing that breath awareness deep into the belly again, keeping that breath long and deep and spacious and expansive. Rest. Soften the eyes, maybe close them. soft through the fingertips, whether palms are up or down. And if the mind wanders or thoughts or emotions start to bubble up, just be with them for a moment. Just be with them. Observe without getting drawn into the stories, into the narrative. Just observe almost as if those thoughts, those feelings are on a movie screen, so you can observe but without being drawn in. And then allow them to just drift away. See if you can continue to soften to the bones, so allow gravity again to allow those muscles to just soften, release and open towards the floor, so that the bones of the legs, the thighs, literally are softening to the floor, so you can almost feel the bones, with the muscles releasing their hug around their bones, till the bones are resting, or it feels as though the bones themselves are resting against the floor. Final minute here. So it might be that you feel as though you'd like to come a little deeper, so maybe moving the cushions further away. Maybe there are no cushions and you're resting on forearms, just enjoying wherever you are. Maybe you're backing away, maybe the back, it's already a little bit too much for the back and you need to bring the cushions in towards the body, sit a little bit more upright. Good. Excellent. Final minute here. Lengthen and deepen that breath, that 4-1, 4-1 pattern if you can, if that feels comfortable. And then as we're ready, start to inhale, press through the palms, walk them in towards the body, sit upright. And then we're going to come into our half shoelace for about 2 minutes on each side. So for this one, have some cushions nearby. Certainly have a blanket nearby. If you just have the one blanket, then I'd suggest you keep the blanket in front of you and sit on a cushion instead, or a pillow, a sort of thin pillow. So this one is our half shoelace. So we're going to gently put a bend in those knees and give ourselves a helping hand. Whoa, draw those knees in. You might feel this at the backs of the knees a little, into those sort of tendons and ligaments there. That's perfectly fine. Maybe you'd like to walk the heels in and windscreen wipe at the feet just a little, lifting and lengthening through one hip then the other. Might be a little bit of clicking the first time you roll from side to side. Remember to take sips of drink whenever you need to as well. And then we're going to come into our half shoelace, so adjusting our position so that the legs are going to be extended in front of the body. Sit nice and upright. Lengthen through the feet, soften through the toes. And then here we're going to bring that right foot either on the shin, okay, so crossed across the shin there, or it might be that you bring it alongside the body and you bring a cushion underneath that right knee. I'll just switch sides, so you might just pop a cushion underneath the right knee there to support that knee out towards the side. Otherwise you might be able to hinge from the hips and bring that right foot gently behind the left knee, never on the knee for obvious reasons. But the thing about this one is it can be quite hard on the ankle and the thigh, and to avoid bruising, this is where your blanket can come in quite handy. So what I'd suggest is that you put the blanket or a towel, that works just as well, underneath that ankle, supporting the foot. Same thing for the shin. If the foot is a little further down, put it on the shin, okay? And then from here, we're going to sit on the edge of our blanket or cushion or pillow, whatever we have. Allow that right knee to drop open towards the side. So I'll just turn around so that you can see. Okay.
Allow that right ankle to drop out towards the side, soften through those left toes. Maybe bring a couple of cushions on top again here. And then we're just going to allow the weight of the upper body and the weight of that leg to again press that bone, that thigh bone towards the floor, and we're lengthening through the hamstrings again, but from a slightly different angle. So with the legs extended, we get into all three sets of hamstrings at the back of the thighs. With a wide-legged, we get into the outside and the inside ones, but not so much in the middle. So this is going to lengthen all three, okay? So softening again that right knee out towards the side. If you've got those extra cushions from earlier, you can always prop that right knee up as well, okay? And then the key is to bring that weight forwards and then support those arms however feels comfortable. Maybe cross them, fold them, just whatever feels comfortable. You can bow the head again if that feels comfortable. If you've got a brick, you can place that underneath the forehead to keep the head at a nice angle for the neck. And then just gently bring that weight forward, keeping the toes nice and soft. And that weight of the forearms pressing through the cushions gently, and gravity will start to lengthen through those hamstrings. So just bring that weight forwards. Maybe you can stack the forehead on fists, so you can stack the fists and bring the forehead there. And then just start that longer, deeper breath again into the belly, into the low back. If the neck feels uncomfortable, again you can lengthen, bring the fingertips behind, sit nice and tall, press the shoulders back, and then exhale and forward fold back over that thigh, okay? But keep those left toes soft the whole time. There's a tendency to draw them back like in our yang practice. So don't soften here. We need to be soft in the body to really reap these benefits of this really deep stretch practice. I'm going to spend about another minute in this posture, and then we'll come into the other side. Again, feel free to bring that chin in towards the chest, however feels comfortable, and then just rest into this position, allowing those muscles to soften again, to release, moving gently, remaining still without fidgeting, allowing any feelings, any sensations to just be there. Attention to the breath. Allow that leg to feel heavy for the final 30 seconds. So again, try to bring in that pattern of breath if you can, that 4-1-4-1. And then gently, softly inhale, come up. Keep all of your props available to you because we're going to need them for the other side. So we're just going to softly lift that right ankle off that left leg, extend it out. Switch the blanket to the other side. So it might be that your left heel is just in against the thigh and the knee drops out towards the side of the room. Extend that right foot in front of you so that the ankle can come to the shin, and that works beautifully. Otherwise, gently hinging from that hip. So use those hips to bring that heel slightly up behind that right knee, soften through those right toes, and then same thing here, okay? So we're going to fold into our half shoelace on the other side, and propping yourself up however feels comfortable on that side, okay? Get nice and comfortable. Sit on the edge of your cushion or pillow, and then when you're ready, and again you can support that side knee towards the side of the room, and then just fold on forwards. Same thing, a couple of minutes in our half shoelace, resting down, going carefully on that right knee, and being comfortable in the neck. Breath deep into the belly.
And remembering to allow gravity to work its magic. No holding on necessary, just release and surrender, softening, breathing. Shoulders soft. So whether you are overexcitable and need to calm down, or whether you are almost horizontal energetically speaking and need to tap into some additional energy, then Yin Yoga, as I so often mention, is for you. So it's about bringing harmony to the body through the feminine energy, the counterpart to our yang, masculine energy. And we can use it to calm us or to lift us, because it works on those Chinese medicine principles of qi or energy, meridian lines, so lines of energy that are believed to run through the body. And it works on releasing and removing those blockages. And as you know, yoga means to unite. And the idea being that we unite the body, we unite the mind, we unite the energies, the emotions, all as one. So yoga meaning to yoke, to unite. And so whether we are releasing blockages, those blockages can be a blockage which prevents us from feeling energy, or they can be a blockage that means that we have an excess of energy, so a blockage of an ability to perhaps self-regulate or whatever it might be. So by removing those blockages and allowing that energy to flow freely through the body-mind, as we like to call it in yoga land, the idea is that we bring this whole union to the energetic and all of the sheaths of the body and the mind and the emotions and the energies. So integral harmonization of all aspects of what it means to be the self, or Atma as it's called. So final 30 seconds, and start to lengthen and deepen the breath. And then remember your 4-1-4-1 pattern. And then as we're ready, we're going to inhale and softly come all the way up. Okay, so for this next one, there are quite a few instructions, so I'll repeat them a couple of times, okay? So what I'm going to suggest is, from this position, you should have your right leg extended already and your left leg in towards you. Give yourself a helping hand and just lift that right knee up, and maybe just windscreen wiper those knees a little from side to side. It doesn't have to be beautiful, just enough to get the energy and the circulation moving once more, okay? And then we're going to come into deer pose with a twist, okay? So what I'd suggest is that you have not a really large or deep, particularly deep cushion, so a pillow is probably quite a good idea, and bring that off to the left-hand side of your mat, okay? Closest to me. And then behind you, what you'll have is your blanket. So the blanket you were sitting on, we're now going to use to prop up the back knee, okay? So bring your blanket behind you and your cushion off centre towards the left, okay? We're going to bring that left knee behind us and bring it onto the blanket, okay? So adjust it until you can sit comfortably with your left knee resting and supported. This is really nice to support the knees on that blanket. And then what we're going to do is shuffle into our sit bones, okay? And bring our right foot, or right knee even, onto our pillow. So just sneak it up towards the buttock, supporting the length of that shin on that cushion there. So we've got the back knee supported, that front shin supported, and then any remaining cushions or blankets that you have to hand, we're going to stack up at the front of the mat. So bring those there, build yourself a cushion wall, or a wall of cushions. And from here what we're going to do, so as comfortable as you'd like it to be, and you can bring a bolster instead to the centre of your body. So if you have got a bolster instead of a wall of cushions, you could bring that bolster to the side of your body up against your hip, and then drape your upper body along the bolster. But the cushions work just as well, okay?
So you can work with your wall of cushions instead. Build it up however feels comfortable. And that's where we're going to drape the upper body. So building your wall, your supportive wall, maybe putting a blanket on top to make it feel duvet-like. And then we're going to bring our whole upper body over towards this right hand side, and we're going to lower the right side body to that wall of cushions or bolster and drape the body over. Okay. Now what this does here is, as well as detoxifying and helping to eliminate and remove blockages in the digestive tract, it's also a really nice twist for the hips, for the IT band of the legs, and it's just really lovely. And I wouldn't be surprised if we spend a few minutes here if we don't find a couple of you almost nodding off. So bring your body to the cushions, have the arms soft either side, close your eyes, allow the head to be resting, supported, so that you don't have to focus on any tension or holding on in the neck. And then just bring your attention to the breath as you soften and close the eyes and feel this gentle twist. And so gradually as well, to make this a deeper twist, you can bring that right shin further away from the body, higher up the mat. But again, remember, we start with our mild edge, and we either stay there or we graduate to maybe 60 to 75% of our full range of motion. But just enjoying that stretch. So as long as you feel a mild sensation, you're in the right place. So soften through the toes, soften through the knees. It might be that you need a higher cushion for that right knee for a deeper twist, but then that does restrict rather the movement in the belly, so you'll find what feels comfortable. And then just come to rest with the eyes closed. Relax, release to the floor. Whole body supported. Heavy, loose, limp, and relaxed. A really safe and secure pose relieves stress, anxiety, neuroses, overthinking. Chitta, Vritta, Nirodha, so ceasing the fluctuations of the mind. Soft shoulders, soft arms, soft fingers, soften the hips, allow gravity to be your friend, holding you steadily in place. In relaxed stillness. And then as you're ready, we're going to start to prepare the body to move into the other side. So start your pattern of breath. 3 rounds. Deep into the belly, just feel that thigh pressing against that right side of the belly, massaging those internal organs, stimulating digestion, elimination, detoxification.
And then gently pressing yourself back up. Ooh, really nice. Okay. And then we're going to practice that on the other side. So gently bringing your right knee up to support it perhaps with your left hand. Bring that right knee up. And then unwind that left foot. And then we're going to practice the same thing on the other side. So shift those hips over. Or you can just turn around on your mat if that feels better. I'm going to move my props to the other side. And so this time, what we want is that left knee, so that left heel in towards the body. And that's going to be resting on that cushion. So the whole shin of that left leg is resting on that cushion. And then we're going to tuck that right foot behind us, and that right knee rests on the blanket, fully supported. Okay, so right knee, the foot is behind us. Support that right knee on the blanket. Left shin in front of you, sitting evenly through the sit bones. Okay, to begin with, so we're sitting nice and stable. Maybe walk that right foot out a little further or in a little further, or maybe walk the knee out a little bit further. Just find what feels comfortable and right on the knee. Okay, it might be that just twisting the hips towards the front of the mat is better for that right knee. So we don't want to feel any pain in that right knee at all. And then create your mountain of cushions. Okay, again, or have your bolster handy. And what you want is to position that at the left side of the body. So you're pressing into the side waist and into the pectoral muscles almost. And then we can hug and rest and release down from there. Okay, so get yourself set up, nice and comfortable. Bring your whole upper body round to the front. And then gently folding over those cushions. And maybe you can even twist your head towards the left for a little deeper stretch in the low back, if you'd like it. And then just gently ease into that pose and finding where feels comfortable for the feet, the knees. So adjusting and wriggling around a bit until you feel comfortable. And then rest on down. So either look towards that left bent knee, or for a deeper stretch you can turn the head and look over that left shoulder. And that will get into the right shoulder and the upper to mid back as well if you'd like it. And then just whenever you feel that mild sensation, just come into that place of calm abiding, of stillness, and into your hold. Rest on down. Most people never get to find out how good the body was designed to feel, and I think that yin gives us a little glimpse into that world, into that possibility. And then again, remembering if there's any tingling or numbness to back out of the pose. If it's in the ankles or the knees, maybe wriggling the toes a little can relieve any tingling sensations. But backing out, coming into a resting pose if you need to. A different resting pose. Soften through the fingers, soften through the forearms, allow the shoulders to drop away from the ears. So I always assume that the arms here resemble the sort of size and shape of a deer's antlers. So often these yoga shapes take their names from a creature that looks very similar to the shape that we make with our bodies. And then again, just allowing those thoughts to come, be observed, and then go. Couple more minutes here in this pose. Breathing into the belly. So placing that left knee on a cushion not only supports the knee, but it also elevates the leg to get that deeper twist as well. So if you're wondering what the reasons are, those are two good reasons why we elevate that left knee on a cushion, to just deepen that stretch. Final minute. And start that pattern of breath again if you can. Breathe in, hold, breathe out, hold the breath out, draw the pelvis up and in, and then take a natural breath as we inhale and come all the way up. Okay, so if you've got your strap handy, it's nearly time to use the strap again. We're just going to take a brief happy baby on our back, so maybe about 30 seconds. So just coming onto the back as comfortably as you can, just shifting those hips forwards, spine nice and straight, bring those knees in, reach for the outside of the feet or the thighs or the knees, and just open those knees in towards the armpits. You can support those knees with the palms of the hands and draw those shoulders in. Maybe roll a little from side to side. Otherwise, reach for the outside edges of the feet and draw those knees in, lengthening that tailbone towards the mat and pressing those shoulder blades evenly into the floor. And just gently rock a little from side to side. A few more breaths here, and then we're going to come into some lovely couple of twists before I let you rest. Okay, and then softly release those feet, reaching for your strap, which should still be in its loop shape. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to bring the strap around the knees and tie the knees together. Tie those knees together, have that strap nice and comfortable. You don't have to use a strap, it doesn't matter, it's just an added extra. Have it nice and taut, but not so that it's sore against the knees. Okay. And then from our lying on our backs position, okay, you'll find there's a lot more discipline in the knees here when you tie them together, okay. So from this position, we're just going to bring those arms, spread them out broadly towards the side of the room, palms facing up, and then we're just going to gently roll those knees over towards the right hand side and just enjoy the weight created by pulling those knees together, okay. If you'd like to prop up your ankles or your knees on a cushion because it's pulling the back, then you can. Just reach for your cushion and bring it underneath those knees and just rest down there. But we're going to open up those arms and see if we can keep those shoulder blades into the floor, and then turn that upper body over towards the left hand side as we allow those knees to rest over towards the right for a minute or two. Just enjoying this gentle release in the knees here, and just holding this position, this mild stretch. Soften those shoulders away from the ears. It might be that you'd like to put a cushion between the ankles, that's fine too, so just propping yourself up however feels comfortable. You know what to do, you know how to luxuriate, we're getting good at this. And just enjoy the twist. Maybe bring that right palm to the left thigh and just draw it over towards the right a little more for a slightly deeper stretch into the low back. But keep that right shoulder softening to the floor as we hold. Final 30 seconds and then we'll come to the other side. begin that pattern of breath if you haven't already. And then exhale, draw those knees back through center. Take that cushion with you if you need it for the left hand side. And then just allow those knees to drop over towards the left. Feel heavy. Open the upper body towards the right of the room. And then maybe bring that left palm to the outside of the right thigh as you roll that shoulder, that right shoulder down from the ear. And it might be that you prop that head up either on the palm of the hand here, the palm of the right hand, or on a cushion is also an option, so bear that one in mind. Or you just allow that head to dangle comfortably against the floor. Just drawing those hips over for almost a minute, not quite. And just soften those muscles of the face. Close the eyes, allow that left shoulder to drop towards the mat, that chest to feel nice and open. Breath nice, long and deep. And start that pattern of breath again, that 4-1, 4-1 breath. Good. And then on our next exhale, we're going to bring the knees back through center. And this is where we're going to get ourselves ready for our Shavasana. We'll have about 6 to 8 minutes in our Shavasana. And what I'm going to suggest is that if you do have a strap, okay, that you bring that strap all the way down to the ankles, okay. Tighten the strap till the ankles are supported just like the knees were. And if you've still got a mountain of cushions, maybe allow those knees to rest on that mountain of cushions. Otherwise, roll up a blanket and allow the blanket to support the backs of the knees. Untuck that flesh from the sit bones. And then again, you can stack yourself up, your arms up on cushions either side of the body. Palms facing up towards the sky. Maybe have the cushion in diagonally or the pillow in diagonally to support the full length of the arms. Again, you can bring a cushion to the back of the neck to have the head nicely supported, or maybe a blanket just behind. And you can roll that up all the way into the crook of the neck, and that can feel quite gorgeous on the neck as well. Gives the neck a bit of a massage. But if the ankles are drawn together with the strap, again, this provides a really deep release in the hips and just allows the body to rest. And just have those shoulders releasing towards the floor. Hips nice and soft, knees beautifully soft. Belly soft, whole body soft. And just come into your Shavasana. So as you settle into your Shavasana, take a few moments to get there. I'm just going to dim the lights my end. And just talk to you in a soothing way with some time for reflection at the end. So calming and relaxing, balancing the mind and the body. Regulating the energy. Lowering our stress levels. Who needs stress anyway? Releasing our fascia, connective tissues throughout the body. Deep relaxation. Observing only the pure physical sensations of emotions without getting caught up in the stories. Allowing those emotions and physical sensations to work their way through and out of your system. Opening the door, clearing the mind of unconscious holding patterns, unconscious emotions.
becoming still and holding the space. Shavasana. Reducing the heart rate. Stimulating our nervous system's relaxation response to stress. Closing off those sensations, practicing a little pratyahara or withdrawal. Reducing our blood pressure. Resting. In the beautiful simplicity of Yin. Of Shavasana. Becoming great listeners. Learning to be. Sitting with feelings and sensations, facing our deeper selves. Keeping that space empty, allowing that mind to stop its chatter. Our goal is not to become perfect. Our goal is to become whole. It takes so much energy, it takes so much to keep our emotions, our feelings and our sensations suppressed. And Yin Yoga and our yoga practice provides us that safe space to release, to let it all come out. Great coping for anxiety and stress. time and space to allow feelings to be there in their glory, without judgment. Emotions, thoughts and feelings we may have long kept in the shadows. Our yoga shining the light on the darkest corners of our being, bringing us love, peace and light. And then as you're ready, start to lengthen and deepen the breath, preparing ourselves to move as mindfully as we have throughout our practice. So maybe start on some of the smaller joints in the wrists, the fingers, maybe spread and squeeze the fingers and toes, make some circles. Yawn and stretch, get tall, get long, just enjoy that extra space we've created in the body, and then give those knees a hug in towards the chest before rolling onto the right hand side and pressing ourselves up to a comfortable seat, facing this way, palms to touch. Tilt the chin in towards the chest in gratitude for our wholeness. And then palms to touch in front of the forehead for loving thoughts, to the heart center for loving intentions, and to the lips for loving communications. Peace, love and light to all of you. Have a wonderful evening. I hope to see some of you at practice tomorrow for our gentle yoga. If not, I'll see you later in the week. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. Sleep well. Namaste.